Now I've been here for 17 years. I love the Seychelles because of the diversity of species here.
4 years, my 4th season.
Yeah, so 5 years and counting, gone through a lot of different phases of the fishery.
I come like a guide, 2001.
I was offered a position here, and that was 13 years ago. And I'm still here.
You look still fresh as a daisy.
When the first guides were asked to go to Alphonse, I was actually one of a few guys that were asked from South Africa to go there.
I come in here, I don't know anything about fly fishing.
Came here with not even proper fly fishing shirt.
I learning with the guests, my first time to hold a rod.
I had a long sleeve shirt, didn't have proper water gear.
To know about the fly.
Different belts, not even saltwater proof.
We're just like, oh.
And you realize that I'm going to do this for a long time because I want it.
And then I just keep on, and now I'm there, you know.
It's showing everybody what our paradise is like.
The moment I arrived, I realized that I basically found my home.
And I'm happy, you know, I like my job. Right.
Obviously, milkfish are my thing. I really love milkfish fishing. It's probably the reason why I come back here year after year. And it's, you know, when one cuts to the chase, then, you know, that's probably why I'm in love with milkfish. And I love nothing better than going out there and fishing for milks. They're very, very technical fish, very challenging, very not easy to catch. I suppose they're pretty much like tarpon in that respect. You know, they you know, you've got to know your stuff. You got to work hard. You got to make the casts, and but they when, you know, they take flies and they fight really hard, and they're just gorgeous. So to actually go out there, we almost predicted that day. Keith was, I was lucky to have him on the boat that first day, and he did really well helping me out. We found those pods and we fished for them.
There we go. Come across. Come across.
And I battled with it. I mean, honestly, I just, you know, there's some days when the fish are just eating, and the other days when the fish are just, they're there, but they're eating, but they're a bit grumpy, they're not really, and they're harder to get.
What you got there? Oh. He's coming to wood. He's off. Oh, jeez, he came for it. Yes, he came straight up for the fly. That was awesome. Watch the jump, there goes the jump. What are those days? Balmy hot. Nice. Yeah, baby. Got it right. Yes, got it. Nice. Very, very splashy fishing.
That was a perfect little fish to start off because, you know, they get big. They get up to 25 kilos, and a 25 kilo milk is brutal. We call them devilfish. They beat you up. I mean, you could fight a milk for 2 hours, and people just don't really understand how strong they are. But the fish were feeding. What happens at low tide is if the fish have an option, they probably rather be on the flats. Because they can't be on the flats, they go out into the blue water, and they shoal up, safety in numbers, find them in groups, and if they're high and happy and they're feeding nicely, they're very doable, very catchable. The fights are interesting because they go through 3 phases. Typically, initially, the fish is with a shoal, and it's not sure what's going on, and you know they might get a little bit panicky and usually do a few jumps, and it's quite a critical time because they change direction a lot, but they're fighting generally on the surface, and then after a while the fish starts settling down, it gets really grumpy. They start usually then trying to look for a way out, and then they leave the shoal and they start doing funny stuff like trying to get you somehow on coral or over the flats, and that happens sort of in the middle phase of the fight.
Oh, yeah, baby! Oh, awesome! Off. No, maybe. No, speak towards me. No, maybe off.
At the end of the fight, they do this sort of midway through towards the end, they do this going tuna deal. And if they're in the sea, they go down below the thermocline and they sit down there just like tuna. Fight them up. I think they've got a lot of almost red muscle tissue like tuna, and they don't get that lactic acid buildup that most fish get. They seem to be able to they have incredible stamina, and they just go on and on and on and on, and the gill is a fused gill, it's like a monopump, so with minimum effort they're getting maximum oxygen, and if they're sitting down there below the thermocline and they're just pumping away, there's no such thing as a small milk. A milk is a milk. You know, to catch a milk in a flower is pretty special. This is the only fishery in the world where you can do it with any kind of regularity. The bigger fish was that sort of unbelievable fish that we both wanted so badly, and that's much harder on a knife. It's tough, and that rod held up well. It's a good stick. It's just a much bigger fish. It was a good cast, and
Might be a monster, we haven't even seen it.
just you get that sort of that feeling it's going to happen.
Where are you, little beauty? Under the boat, there he goes.
Lift, and you don't really know why. The fish is there. It's that sort of feeling. It's sort of almost instinctive, you know, when the fish is going to eat.
You see the fin slots, like the tuna? Look at those fin slots, look there. With all the little fancy accoutrement to make it perfect. And the fused gill, you see the fused gill?
It was one of those sort of sea run fish, beautiful colours. I mean, the colours are just magnificent. Blue on the back and black fins. And
it's a sea fish, a proper sea runner.
got like almost a pinky sheen on the side, but a real, I mean, it's just beautiful.
Beautiful.
How cool is that? That's milkfish fishing. It's awesome. It's good fun.
Target some tailing bonefish here, so it's going to be very exciting. You can see the bonefish tailing everywhere. It's going to be an incredible session. Let's see if I can get one. There it comes. Doesn't even know he's hooked. Won't be go. Amazing. Shallow water. It's really skinny. Look at him go. Fish are hungry, unbelievably hungry. Tiny bonefish. Bonefish. Little 3 or 4 pounder, little 3 pounder. Beautiful. You can see when I picked this fish up just now, you'll see the dark bars on its back, which is synonymous with them sitting here on the outside, the turtle grass. Look at that beautiful little bonefish. Took the pink puff, the shallow water. Incredible. It's not going to get down here, so something with some nice heavy tungsten eyes. Got a 1.8 meter high tide, so all is moving. It's coming into this lagoon called the Cosmic Lagoon. It's an incredible place, a breeding ground for young bonefish and some bigger bonefish here as well. Barracuda come in here, and it's an awesome place. It's an unbelievable place. It's like a wildlife sanctuary. Nice and heavy. Spawning shrimp one. Really meant to try and get this flight to sink these bonefish here. It's very spooky. Using this thornback ray as cover. It's working.
Thank you so much.
Thoughts when they see them is, you know, that's not something that you'd want to pursue with a fly rod. When you start fishing for them and you realize that they're actually very sort of challenging, the presentation itself is fairly technical. It's not just a simple matter of them coming and eating and pursuing the fly and then you hook it. They don't forgive you at all if you're not careful with the wading and the approach. You have to put the fly in gently. I don't know, it's almost like the ultimate fly rod target for technical fishing because they really are spooky. It's a dirty little fighter that's extremely strong for its size. It packs a powerful punch. And yes, they will put you in the coral. They will do anything possible to mess you up. So, I mean, apart from the fact that they don't look like a beautiful, sleek game fish, that they've got all the ingredients. But it's kind of cool that, for me anyway, that they're fairly unique. They're absolutely, they're just so beautiful. Their eyes, the colors of their scales, kind of cool that they look like that, you know. It's a very special fish. And I think the challenge is probably the key for me, you know, the technical part of it. You have to get it right. There's no second chances or forgiveness. Okay, so basically, once you get the fly in, if you can get the fly in so that the fish doesn't detect it and it sinks, and you can get him to see that fly with just one small little strip, then they come over generally and they put their heads down. They try and eat it, and at that time you've got to keep contact with the fly, and then he'll kind of crunch down on it. And if you can feel him, then you can hook them in the side of the mouth against the teeth. So they actually, if everything works well, they're fairly easy to hook, but everything's got to work well. Sometimes they take a few times, sometimes they kind of like pick at the fly, and sometimes you hook it in such a way that it can bite you off or bite the leader or the hook in half.
You know, I look for a jig, and I bring my 12 foot with me, and then when I look for a jig, I saw trigger, you know, and why not? Let's try for trigger.
I've seen fish from full fly line lengths away where you see it and possibly even more distant, and you think, okay, well, let's just sneak up on it, and they spook. I kind of just take the general thought that is the more silently you can approach them, the better. So it's a difficult balance between trying to, once you see one, trying to get to them fairly quickly, because then they do move sometimes, but obviously you want to be quiet, and it's the same with the casting and everything. You want to wait for their heads to be down. Sometimes they won't give you that opportunity, and you've got to make the call. But yeah, slow and just ultra quiet and accurate.
And then trigger, I like to fishing trigger is a very strong fish. That's nice. It's a bad fish, talking about fish.
It's one of the ultimate species to get.
They're the gangster of the flats. They scour around trying to find some wounded bait fish, anything that isn't up to speed with what's going on the flats. And when you're fishing for them, you put a fly to them, you know they're going to eat that fly, because they put their pectorals out, their eyes dilate, they rush the fly, their mouths open, they stick their eyes out the water and they gulp the fly. And it's almost too exciting to stay calm. That's the key to GT fishing, is being calm, setting that hook. And it's an amazing experience. Until you've done it, you never actually know what it's like.
They are the dominant, they're the most aggressive dominant fish other than the barracuda on the atoll.
I tied this popper and gone out fishing with it and started to give it out to the other guides. And they'd fished it a bit and seen how well it works and how well the fish respond to it. And my friend Wayne comes running into my chalet and he says, "I've got a name for your fly." And he says, "Not your average popper, the NYAP, the Niekerk." What I've managed to do is just cut a block and slice it down the middle like this, and then you're able to push the hook right inside and then super glue it in place, which makes it very durable.
GT, very nice to hook a GT. I like GT. I get a lot of dream about GT. That's why you see, I give my name GT Dream, my boat. And GT, you have to have passion to wait for a jit, and then you have to quick, because you have sometimes a jit coming, you have to quick, make sure you make your cast, make sure you make a perfect cast. Sometimes you can put a fly on the head, you eat. Sometimes you put, it's poop. Because I like when the jit coming, the noise, the flash you make, it's very, if you're sleeping, make you wake up,
I think a lot of people come here to experience a GT, and that's a bycatch of the fishery.
In the saltwater environment is to catch them in the surf. Now, the GT as a species, the body dynamics and the way that a GT is made up is conducive to hunting and feeding inside the turbulence of the waves.
We had quite a few GTs around. I had quite a few, a couple bite me off. I had quite a few grab the popper head, flies coming out, line breaking. Ah, you're bloody! Those moments that you have to remember. It's the craziness which leads up to catching a GT. You get the fly into him and hope that he decides that he wants to eat it.
I was fishing with Keith that day, and we were hunting down the big boys, and it's obviously a big privilege to fish with somebody that has caught so many. I don't have that many in the bag yet, but soon it might come.
As the tide came in, we moved back to a place called East Knoll. We knew that the moat would be there.
It's a high sandy knoll, and with the tide of that day, everything congregates around this sandy pit. We couldn't leave it. We got there, we saw the baitfish, we saw the mullet.
And when there's going to be mullet there, it's obviously baitfish for the GTs.
You stay here, we're going to get him. He's going to come up and eat.
We thought there was a good chance of getting a GT there. And as we approached, actually, we saw the GT. So we pushed the boat onto the sand. I wasn't even wearing wading boots.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I ran to a position where I thought, I'm going to be able to present the fly perfectly to the fish. But with that, the fish went into my blind spot, straight into the sun. So I made the cast into a general area where I thought he would be. I couldn't really see him.
Keith is on the go, and he gets a nice long one in there on the nap on a nice big white popper.
So I knew that the surface fly would make enough commotion to attract him.
The nice thing about the Nyap is that you're able to cast it really fast, very aerodynamic, very light. And even our guests are able to put it out a reasonable distance. And at the same time, this fly makes an incredible disturbance on the surface of the water. And that's the big thing. That's a key trigger for these fish, is the sound of that fly popping on the surface. So it doesn't just have a visual imprint to the fish, it has an audible imprint and then a visual imprint as well.
And he connects with it and fights it like I've never seen anybody fight a fish.
I'm a firm believer that you have to stop a GT. You have to fight him hard. You have to stop him as quick as possible. So I fly as much drag as I can. It's a tug of war. I believe if you can break his spirit very early in the fight, he'll always be your fish. He's not going to head off and go cut you off in the distance. Nice and close. So if you think there's too much tension on the rod, you just step towards the fish, and that will act as also a drag system. And this time I was lucky.
About 100 out. There's nothing more exciting than a GT cake.
Eventually we get it to hand and celebrate the high five.
He's a vegan.
I landed a 111 centimeter fish with a good friend of mine, Jeva, and I don't think there's anything better experience in the saltwater than that.
And what's the chances of catching two? It doesn't happen, but it's looking so fishy. It's going to happen. Come on, boys, come on. Copy paste. And Keith is shouting from the back where he can see one, and there were two nice patches of turtle grass.
He's on the far side, the other side of those other black knolls. He's coming now, he's united to step on the knoll.
I got him.
Good.
Got him.
Big fish, guys.
Wading out in the water about this deep, I'd say. No, maybe up to the belt, and the sun's setting in the west, so you've got a glare patch on the left, but you can still slightly make out a couple of dark spots. But you don't know what they are, if it's a turtle grass patch, if it's a turtle, if it's a shark, what they are. So you sort of cover whatever you get.
How far?
Now I know that there's a GT somewhere here. I can't see him yet. Make a blind cast, nothing happens. Make another one, nothing happens. And then I see the shape and realize that this might be it. And I think I actually put the fly right on top of him. It wasn't a brilliant presentation, but it was just so rewarding after that first trip to see that he's on it and he's got it. And it's a big explosion, and I was just thrilled. I was unbelievably happy. It's real complete. I had to have about 2 bottles of water after that because there was a lot of running around up and down the beach. That's him on the top. And got him in eventually.
Woo! Yeah, boy. Look at that. On the neck popper. Look at that guy. Looks like the shark's trying to eat him, eh?
Yeah.
Look at the bite marks here.
Yeah.
Well done. That's awesome. You give it to you. Oh, yes. Well done.
It was quite special to have it at East Knoll, at an area that it's nice white sand and a lot of fish that are just hungry coming in. So I don't think they expected us to be there.
Yeah, that day I went outside to do some blind casts for jit, and close to 4 o'clock too. And I think I did about 6 blind casts, and then just I saw something black with some flash. Bang, on. And the same time I set the hook, the same time I give it line to go, the rod comes. And then say, now what are we going to do now? You know?
What now? Hide him. What now? Just tell me what now?
The camera man said to me, you have a reel, just keep on, you know. And yeah, I changed my finger strip, put another finger just to hold the backing until, keep on reeling until I can get the part of rod, you know, and then really, and then I get the rod, put the rod together, and you know, just keep on, and then I'm lucky to land that fish, you know. That's GT fishing, you know.
When you in the surf and it's just you and the fish and there's nothing else to help you and it's just so wild. Sort of pitting your skills against this big beast, wild creature. It's awesome.
I fishing with Andrew. Andrew drive the boat for me. Me and fishing. Yeah. You see some tail. You're thinking maybe it's eagle ray, because eagle ray sometimes, you're swimming, you see some fin out. You're thinking that's an eagle ray. And then look, and then you see the fork, the tail for jit, the jit tailing, you see the tail out. And that day I have some chores to do, because you have a lot of fish there. I make a cast, I see some small jit, I can say, no, I don't want you. I don't want you, I need another one. No, I make another cast, and then I have to say, okay, who can anyone come in, I get that jit. And for me it's fine, because it's a long time ago, I get some fish on net shark. Every time the guests get it. That day is a special day for me to see the net shark with jit, you can see different side, different color jit, that's the day.
I couldn't believe that they came up again. I think we fished with some triggers just a little bit. I tried to make a few more casts at the jeets, but it definitely wasn't the same. Once again, they're intelligent fish, so I think they knew exactly what was up. He didn't even respond. I'm not going to hesitate. I mean, this is split second, and I just went, okay, I'm casting. I made one cast at awesome, just little strips of the crab, trying to, not strip it too fast, and watching it see the fly, and then come up and almost sip it, like a little sip. There's that tense moment where you need to get the line, and so many things can go wrong. And running towards it, I think it's gone. Landing it was a bit hectic. The fish was very strong. So getting it to hand was a little bit exciting. But yeah, once I got it.
Oh, thanks.
That was just incredible. Very, very cool. And it was a beautiful, beautiful fish. Blue and stunning fins and everything else. The hook was perfectly, that's I think the reason we landed it, because it was right in the scissors. If I'd caught it on a 12 weight, it would have been spectacular, but the fact that it was on a 9 was very, very special.
So why?
Yeah, permit is a nice fish. That's everybody, every fly fishing guy, you can guess, you want to hook a permit. And a permit is difficult. To cast for permit, you have to walk slowly. And I walk, like me, when I fish for permit, I don't like to tie my drag. I like my drag a bit loose, use my hand. See permit tailing, cast, you need a permit every time. It gets spooked. And then you have to make some long casts. Long cast for permit. Strip very slowly. Permit is going down. You can see the tail permit there. Set the hook. And the fight, it's a strong fight, and I'm scared. I'm scared, man. I'm afraid to. I don't want to lose the permit, you know. And then if I is going out, I'm worried about the coral. We have some coral too over there where I get the permit. And the problem, you know, to learn that fish by yourself. You need somebody to help you, or you have a net. You know, you need a net sometimes to learn a permit. You have to have passion with him. And when I hook a permit, my heart is doom, you know, blowing, and I don't want to lose that fish because it's very easy to lose a permit. I think maybe I take about 5 hours, maybe 5 hours to hook one permit, you know. And yeah, that day, you know, and I get a chance to learn it, and get a chance to put it on my hand. It's a nice permit too, you know.
All right. Yes. Yeah.
Nice. Maybe you will see, guys. It's a nice one. When you get a permit, that's a special fish for you, you know.
So when the season closes down, we've got about 4 months that we not yet.
Get a couple week off, and then you have to take care with the boat.
Yeah, we had 2.
The southeast monsoon comes in, and it makes it almost impossible to operate on the water.
Yusuf make that fly for me for my birthday. You know, for my birthday, that fly is still there. Even on my box, it's still there. I'm scared to use that fly if I lost that fly, because that fly means something, you know. Yeah.
Well, when the season ends, I've been doing kind of casual work for the same fly shop and kind of messing around a little bit, trying to do different things.
Going home in the past used to be still getting involved with the bush life. That's a big passion, and seeing that. But the last 2 years I've been trying to travel as much as I possibly can. So it's nice to save up a bit of money throughout the season and then go and fish somewhere else.
Well, I've been doing, some of the guides actually do the sort of Northern Hemisphere guiding season, you know, in Alaska and Europe, the salmon fishing with Russia.
I kind of like to keep guiding for here so that I can be fresh and excited about being back here, so that, you know, like restore the batteries.
I'm building a house, and I have a wildflower nursery. I'm actually a flower breeder. Pretty much my focus when I'm back.
Yeah, my son likes fishing, you know, and I still, maybe one day when I'm old, he can use my rod, you know. And I like if he keep on growing like that, you know, like he like the sea, like fishing. You don't scared about fish, you know. He's really want to hold it, you know. If he's still like that, maybe he can take my place one day, you know.